Good morning. My name is Deacon Markus, and I'm from Germany. Don't worry, I come in peace. So Jesus says about the necessity for them to pray always without becoming weary. So we're here with 8 young men from Philadelphia who did exactly that over the last weekend, beginning on Thursday, together with the novices. And so I wanted to share a little bit about my first crazy week in America. So I was sent here last year. I was still in Italy, in Rome, studying theology, when my superiors came to me and told me, "You're going to be sent to America." I said, "Wow, that's interesting. I've never been to America." I was totally surprised. They didn't tell me yet where. So in mid-June, I got a letter from the territorial director, an email from Farshawn, told me, "You're going to Philadelphia." I said, "Wow, where's Philadelphia?" I had to look that up on the internet. So I was reading on Wikipedia about Thomas Jefferson and the Independence Bell and Philly cheesesteak and the Eagles. Everything very interesting, but what really got me excited was Rocky, because Rocky is from Philly, and I'm the biggest Rocky fan out there. I remember watching with my brother and my dad the Rocky movies, and then afterwards getting into a fight with my brothers and imitating everything. So because of the coronavirus, I had a lot of problems coming to the States. So I was in Germany and Austria and Switzerland, and finally arrived on December 17 for the first time in the United States. I was flying from Monterrey, Mexico to Dallas-Fort Worth. I had there a little layover. And the very first thing I did when I arrived in America, obviously, I went to McDonald's. And so I took the flight then to Philadelphia. I finally arrived. My community received me very nice. We went out for a steak dinner. And then they asked me, "Tomorrow we are going on a mission. Do you want to come or are you tired?" I said, "No, obviously I want to come on a mission." So next morning, very, very early, it was a very cold day, rainy. I think it was also like a little bit snowing. There's an English word, I forgot, it's sleezing. Is it sleezing? No, I don't know. So it was like a mixture of rain and snow, and it was really cold and uncomfortable. We were there outside the Planned Parenthood, another abortion clinic in Philadelphia. And then they took me to a place I couldn't imagine would exist on earth. It's called Kensington, Philadelphia. It's hell on earth. It's the worst place I've ever been to. It's hundreds, if not thousands of people heavily addicted to drugs, injecting heroin on the streets. Every sin imaginable is committed in this area. And there we went with around 40 young people to spread the love of the Lord. And it was an amazing experience. That morning, quite shocking, but quite impressive. In the afternoon, my superior picked me up and told me, "We have another appointment tonight, you have to get ready." And so we went for dinner to the Philadelphia Country Club, which is one of the most elegant places in Philadelphia. So I had it all in one day, Kensington and then the Philadelphia Country Club. Quite an interesting first day in America. And then on Monday, I drove to Seminary, which is outside of Chicago, for a get-together of the young Legionary priests and deacons. And so we went there. And then I was looking at the map and I saw Milwaukee. It's just an hour away from Seminary. And I have a really good friend who lives in Milwaukee. His name is Cliff. I met him 2009 in Budapest, Hungary. I was a missionary in Vienna, in Austria, and we would meet quite frequently, and we became really good friends. And I knew he lived in Milwaukee, so I reached out to different people to get hold of him, to get his number, his contact, and by a miracle I got his number. So I texted him, "Hey, Cliff, I'm in Seminary, can we meet?" And he answered, "Sure, come to my parish, and then we have lunch and we talk a little bit." So I got everything arranged with my meetings and everything, and then I drove there the next day. He told me, be here at 1 o'clock and bring your cassock. So he's a little bit old school, so I thought, okay, I do him the favor and come in cassock, no problem. And so I arrived at 1 o'clock in Milwaukee at his parish. And I knew he was an exorcist, but I didn't know that he wanted me to help him with his exorcisms this day. So I was a little bit surprised because I'm really scared of this stuff, you know? It's like I don't know if you have watched the movie like Emily Rose or The Ride or what's the other horror movie? I forgot the name. So they're horrible and I'm super scared of this stuff. And I was really happy because in our formation we have to do a 2-week course in exorcism in Rome. And because of the coronavirus, that didn't happen. And they told us you have to do it in the future. But for that moment, I was really happy because I said, "Wow, this is really scary. I don't want to do anything with this stuff. I want to stay as far away as possible." But there I was. And then I said, well, here I am. Maybe the Lord really wants that. So we went into his basement where he does his exorcisms in the parish. And it's just like in the movies, guys. It's crazy. And so it's a room. It was kind of long. He has all the equipment an exorcist has. Liters and gallons of holy water, salt everywhere, pictures of Our Lady, a huge crucifix, holy oil. He has a dog. His name is Pio, after Padre Pio. And then it started. First in came a young man. And he was sitting down, and Cliff started with the exorcism, and this guy starts grunting, like, I said, whoa. So Cliff told me, you just sit in the corner and pray the rosary in silence. And okay. So I did that. So the first guy was a little bit of grunting. I couldn't really hear what Father Cliff was talking to him. Then he would start praying his litanies, all in Latin. I don't know why in Latin, but somehow it helps. So, and Father Cliff is, as I said, a little bit old school, so he's really also into Latin. And and then he told me that was like a simple case. But the next case, you have to get ready because it's going to go crazy. So an exorcist has always some people who help him. They are faithful in the parish, they have an ordered life, they have an ordered sacramental life, they go to Mass, they go to confession, and they're also discreet people. And 5 of those helpers came, a woman and 4 strong men. And I said, whoa, this looks interesting. And in comes this little woman with her husband, and she was really possessed. So once the second she came in, she gave me a look like this. I said, whoa. Calm down, lady. And so she came in and she wanted to leave immediately because she felt uncomfortable, but her husband told her, like, yeah, calm down and it's okay. So there was like a doctor's bed, like how you say that, like a thing. So she was laying down there, and then she was covered with a blanket because sometimes the t-shirt can go up if you lay on a bed or something. And then Father Cliff started with the exorcism, and everything went crazy. It was unbelievable. So I was standing at the feet and holding her down when she was like jumping up and down, and then she would speak. The demon would speak, and it was like really just like in the movies. And I said, "Wow, this is crazy. What's going on?" And then Father Cliff is going on with the exorcism, with the water and the oil and the salt, and then these prayers and litanies for an hour. And then it was over, and the lady went back to normal like that. So, quite a strong experience. So there were 3 other guys on different degrees of possession or obsession. There's a distinction there. And so the most impressive thing for me is I wasn't scared for 1 second in this exorcism. I was actually thinking about dinner because we didn't go out for lunch. And Father Cliff had promised me to go out for a nice steak dinner. So I was thinking ribeye or flank steak or I don't know what. And then in one moment I would go into our man's favorite place, our nothing box. You all know this place very well. We're just happy, you're just existing. So I was a little bit distracted. And so during the exorcism there are a lot of litanies that are prayed. And in one moment everything went silent. So I wake up out of my nothing box and so, oh, I'm sorry, I was distracted. I didn't say that, but I thought so. And then it was quite interesting. So there are more details to the story, but I won't bore you with that. And yeah, so the miracle for me was I wasn't scared for 1 second. Yeah, and I felt like protected by the Lord. So what I want to tell you is there's nothing to fear about the devil. But I want to tell you, let me look at the watch here. Oh, this is going long. So the devil is not to fear about because the Lord is stronger. But the devil is real. Now we go into the second part of the homily. This is directed more to the brothers. So brothers, I want to ask you a question. Are you comfortable? Are you nice and warm? Are your bellies full? Do you have enough food? Are you being entertained? Are you worryless? If so, I tell you what, you're on the wrong way. And this has to be over right here and right now. It has to be over. Because I'm hungry, I'm restless, and I'm angry, and I'm sad. And I want you as well to become hungry. I want you to become restless. I want you to become angry, and I want you to become sad. Because we're at war, and this war is real. The devil is real. People are dying. Souls are lost. Sin is ruling this earth. The devil is winning over souls every day. Today, exactly 106 years ago, on October 16, 1916, Margaret Singer opened the first Planned Parenthood facility in the United States. And it makes me sick to the stomach to think about all the evil and death and suffering that has come into this world and especially into this beautiful country through this woman, through the devil. Prepare yourself, brothers. The war is real. Now is the time for you to set the foundations. You have to become strong in the faith, firm in your vocation, and striving for personal integrity. The first war you have to fight is the war for your own soul. Become angry with sin in the world. Become restless about the people who are being misled by the devil. Become hungry for the salvation of souls and become sad about all the souls that are lost in the war. These are the sentiments that are in the heart of Christ. The most important thing you're learning here in Cheshire is not Latin or Greek or eloquence or style. The most important thing you're learning here is the priestly heart of Jesus. You are so privileged. The Lord has given you the greatest gift He can give to a human being, the vocation to become another Christ, His priest. You are a gift to the world. This is a great responsibility, and it's not the responsibility of your formators or your superiors. This alone is your responsibility to form yourself into this other Christ. How to do that? Expose yourself to the heart of Christ. Breathe in His presence. Listen to Him. Read about Him. Think about Him. Walk with Him. Eat Him. Play with Him. Everything you do or say or think, do it with Jesus. Transform your whole existence, your whole essence, your complete being into Jesus. Become another Christ for this world. How does this priestly heart look then? It is the heart of Jesus itself. It is a heart pierced by thorns, suffering because of the sin in the world. His heart is angry at the devil. and his success in leading so many people away from him. His heart is hungry and thirsty for the love of his children. His heart is full of desire to reach out to all the world and bring them home to the Father so they can have peace and experience themselves the never-ending love of the Lord. The heart of Jesus is longing to be allowed to be generous and spreading graces about the world. As consecrated to the heart of Jesus, we are called to unleash the biggest and strongest weapon there is in the world, in this war. It is the love of the heart of Jesus. This heart is the source of our energy, our motivation, our goal. Form yourself to love the world and all people and hate the sin from the deepest of your soul. I hope you all have noticed there's something written outside this building. It says Christus Vita Vestra, but there's also something else written in invisible ink. Not everybody can read it. I really hope you can, because it says, "Get ready, war is coming." Brothers, we are the legionaries of Christ, and we are made for war. Get ready, this war has already begun.